Will all who are able please stand? Gracious God, source of all truth, we gather today with hearts full of gratitude for the accomplishments of this academic year. You have guided Aurora University through another year of challenges, celebrations, and milestones. This has been a year with both tears and laughter, and for your faithfulness to us, we give thanks. For our faculty who have helped our students discover what matters through lectures, conversations, and in countless other ways, we give thanks. For our staff and administration, servant leaders dedicated to the ideals of integrity, citizenship, continuous learning, and excellence, we give thanks. Grant them your wisdom and courage for the days ahead. For our students who have excelled in the classroom, fields of competition, and places of service, we give thanks. As they prepare to leave this place of learning that they have called home, we ask that you would continue to shape and guide them by the principles of scholarship and character. Hear our prayer today, O Lord. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated.
Who are on the road must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's help did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they picked, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry, so just look at them and sigh, and know they love you.
We are in the transformation business. The power of education is so significant. And so when I work with students, that's the goal, is to build on their aspirations, build on their talents, and see that there's more out there for them.
We are faithful and steadfast in our values, to be student-centered, to make sure that we're setting them up for success both now and in the future, and to make sure that they leave with a certain set of values.
We don't prescribe a cookie-cutter way of finding their path. We don't say, this is how you're going to be an actor, or this is how you're going to make a life in the theater. We look at the student for who they are and help them figure out what their specific path is going to be.
Students at Aurora University succeed because of the university's commitment to ensure holistic success of our students. Not that they're successful just academically, but also mentally, physically, financially, that they're involved in campus.
You know, at Aurora University, we're absolutely dedicated to each person being able to transform themselves from where they are to where they're going. There's a big recipe for success here. The student brings their own set of ingredients to that recipe. The ability to find something that they care about, and then we encourage them all the way.
After their experience here, whether it was through student organizations, through their academics, maybe they went this different path. They're leaving with an excitement to make a change in the world.
For years, I took students from Aurora University to work at Habitat for Humanity in Indiana. And the staff said Aurora University students are unlike any students from any other college that we've ever had. They are caring, compassionate, hard workers, and they have an interest in the greater good.
The students have impacted me as much as perhaps I might have impacted them. Through their pointed questions and their high-quality questions that they ask in the classrooms and during our conversations, I've grown as a political scientist and as an educator.
I tell the nursing students when they first come in that nursing matters. People's lives are in their hands, and that they have an opportunity to discover how to help people, families, and communities improve their health, and that really matters.
Embrace every opportunity that you have, because those opportunities will open doors and experiences that you may never think would exist for you.
Being alum shapes my work with students because I've walked in their shoes. To be a person that can be instrumental in that 4 years is not only a responsibility that I take very seriously, it's one that I take my biggest pride in.
It's all about relationships, not necessarily the wins and the losses, the trophies, but the relationships. The people that are going to help you get jobs are your professors. The people that are going to write recommendations for you are the coaches. People that are going to be hopefully in your wedding party are your teammates. Those are the things that you should really walk away with.
For graduates who are going on the job market, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, maintain relationships with professors and other people at AU that you need recommendation letters from. Don't just email them 5 years later. You need to keep those relationships up because they are genuinely care about what happens to you in the future.
My message to you is this, is that life is a grind, and it's going to be an up and down battle. Never give up. Believe me, there's going to be times that I could have quit. I could have just gave up on what I knew my calling was, and that was to play football, and then now to be a coach. Almost every day I get up and I can't wait for that day to start. And that's the way you got to approach life.
Commencement is my favorite time of year because you get to see them walk across the stage and you get to see them celebrate all of the hard work that they just put in and celebrate with their families, and you see so much joy and pride.
As part of the mission of Aurora University, we encourage our students to develop 4 specific values: excellence, integrity, continuous learning, and citizenship. So when you talk about those 4 values, you're talking about fulfilling your promise to the student that they will graduate from here with a professional degree, but with an understanding of how the world works and their part or role in it. Congratulations for your achievements.
And you, of tender years, can't know the fears that your elders grew by, and so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, their children's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they picked, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry, so just look at them and sigh.
And now for the biggest question of the day. Do any of you graduates know that song? Had one or two of you heard it? I know Deb Stevens remembered it. I saw her face. I know Ava remembered it. So let me set the stage. It was 1970 that song came out, and the band was Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. And it was a remarkable song, because the late 1960s and early 1970s on American college campuses were a dramatic time. It was a time when people were marching and arguing and protesting and problem solving, and it was, some people think, particularly 1968, one of the most difficult years in our national history. And then this song arrived in the midst of all of that turmoil, this simple but profound song that I hope you keep humming for the rest of the weekend, because Tango and I have been humming it now for a good week. If you were to ask me to summarize the mission of Aurora University in a few words, they would be teach, learn, believe. At Aurora University, we teach with passion and confidence. We have the blessing of working with students who cherish learning and work hard at it, and we do that together because we believe that education will transform society, individuals, a globe for the better. So we take special pride in teaching our children well. Today is an important day for lots of reasons, but for me, one of them is that we finally are in a position as a university to recognize the achievements of outstanding faculty by installing them in endowed professorships or chairs. Many campuses have many of these. At AU, we are in the process of accumulating these distinctions. It's one of the highest honors a teacher can have is to occupy a position that someone else, maybe someone he or she never met, cared so much about the institution and the learning that he or she gave a significant sum of money so that that content would always be taught and that learning would always happen. And so today, we are going to do some of that at AU. You know, the truth is presidents come and go, same for coaches, administrators. It's the faculty. It's the faculty who hold the hopes and the vision of a university in their hearts. And as we do this today, we honor some of our very best faculty. So, if I find my notes and I call your name, some of you will get to come to the stage. I think Frank and I have not practiced this, but he's the person that's going to put the medallion over your head, which, by the way, is just a smaller version of this one. And so as we celebrate this 125th year together, we want to give that symbol to some of our outstanding faculty. So Vernon Haas was the chairman of Henry Pratt. We all know more about Henry Pratt as a result of the last few weeks. Henry Pratt is a long-standing company in Aurora, Illinois, a mainstay of the community. Vernon Haas was a lion in the community, a great business leader, and a great contributor to the university's Board of Trustees. And he left to the university the dollars to endow a professorship in business. Sean Green is the current holder of that professorship and will continue to hold that honor for the term of the next 5 years. And these can all, by the way, be renewed. Sean, I think, is with students in New Orleans? Not so bad. And so Sean will continue to serve as the Vernon Haas Distinguished Professor in Business. Of course, all of us know Roger Perlini, or know of Roger Perlini. Roger Perlini was often called Mr. Aurora College. He raised lots of money. He ate a lot of food. He used to have a column in the alumni magazine where he would write about whoever he had visited and how good their pie was. And it really did become a kind of a contest for the Aurora College and the Aurora University alumni to see who might suit Roger the best. I am just thrilled to tell you that the first holder of the Roger Perlini Distinguished Professorship in Music is Lisa Fredenberg. Lisa earned her undergraduate degree in music education at Luther College. She earned master's degrees in choral conducting and vocal performance and a doctorate in choral conducting at the University of Arizona. Congratulations, Lisa. All of us know that Don Kiso is one of the university's most distinguished graduates, that Don and Donna and his whole family have been for years involved in the publishing world, creating those intermediate accounting books that so many students treasure, and really being a leader in accounting education. And Don and Donna made a very generous gift to the university to create the Don and Donna Kiso Endowed Professorship in Accountancy. The first holder of that professorship is Lynn Spellman White. So now we'll tell you all about Lynn. She earned her Bachelor of Science in Music Education at the University of Illinois Champaign, and a Master's in Accounting at the University of Illinois Champaign, and a PhD in Business at the University of Illinois Chicago. Congratulations. And if you have taken the time to read the notes in the program, you know that in the 1920s there was this wonderful couple who met and fell in love at Aurora College and then moved on to California. They did not have children of their own, but instead they left an amazing legacy to Aurora College, the college's first distinguished endowed chair. And I'm pleased to share with you that Chaitna Patel is the first holder of the Smith Distinguished Chair in Natural Science. Chaitna has a BS in biology from the University of Illinois Chicago and a BA in chemistry. Overachiever, Chaitna, always. So good. And a BA in chemistry at the University of Illinois Chicago, a PhD in organic chemistry from the University of Illinois Chicago, and a Bachelor of Science in computer science from Aurora University. Congratulations. You forgot. Congratulations to all four of the recipients, and thank you to all of you who took the time in the busy final weeks of a spring semester to share nominations and wonderfully warm comments about your colleagues. We look forward to sharing some of those with the recipients. We might do a little redaction, since that's what's in the news these days. But there's nothing really more important, aside from honoring our students, than honoring our faculty. And so for me, it is an important milestone that we have reached this point together. And we have one more. The university was able a few years ago to raise the dollars to endow the chaplaincy, believing, as so many of our alumni do, that the chaplaincy must be a permanent part of the community at Aurora University, a vital expression of our commitment and our fulfillment of our mission. And so, Mark Wolfington, I am thrilled to install you as the first endowed chaplain.
Good afternoon. My name is Roma Yapadier. It is an honor and a pleasure to stand before you as president of the Aurora University Students Association. Today I have the privilege of presenting the following awards: the Meritorious Faculty Award, Student Advocate of the Year, and the Senior Award. The Meritorious Faculty Award is selected by AUSA for faculty members' contribution to students and campus life. This professor has dedicated hours of her work to students to help them in the pursuit of their education. She's an outstanding professor who always strives towards excellence. She's an assistant professor of social work and the chair of the Bachelor of Social Work program. I am proud to present this year's Faculty Award to Allison Arndt. Congratulations, Allison. The Student Advocate Award is selected to award a person who goes above and beyond to assist with students' concerns and helps empower students to advocate for themselves. This staff member does everything she can to assist prospective, incoming, and current students. She has a wonderful team of Spartan ambassadors to help welcome new students into our community. I would like to present the Student Advocate Award to Assistant Director of Freshman Admissions, Stacy Galanis. Congratulations, Stacy. The Senior Award is presented to the senior who made the greatest contribution to the class over her or his 4 years. Seniors nominate and select the winner. Our Senior Award winner has been an RA for years and is a current president of the Phi Iota Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. He has been active in organizations throughout his time at AU and is a positive person who makes people feel welcome and at home at AU. I am happy to present this year's Senior Award to Oscar Ramirez. Congratulations, Oscar.
President Sherrick, Board of Trustees, administrators, faculty, and fellow students. My first words must be to thank you for the great personal honor and privilege of being selected as this year's Student Laureate of the Lincoln Academy of Illinois. This prestigious academy honors Abraham Lincoln's legacy of leadership and service in the pursuit of the betterment of humanity. I am deeply honored and humbled to represent Aurora University as the Student Laureate. Abraham Lincoln, like many of us, was a man of little privilege but great ambition. Born to illiterate parents, Lincoln experienced the hardships of the short and simple annals of the poor. Describing his beginnings, Lincoln said, "I was born and have ever remained in the most humble walks of life." Despite his disadvantages, Lincoln managed, through exceptional ability, ambition, and preparation, to pave the way to a brighter future. He became president at the age of 52, but he took the first major step towards building his life around the values and principles that matter most to him when he decided to run for public office. At the age of 23, he declared his intention to run for the state legislature of Illinois. "Every man is said to have his peculiar ambition," he said. "I have no other so great as that of being truly esteemed by my fellow men, by rendering myself worthy of their esteem. How far I shall succeed in gratifying this ambition is yet to be developed. I am young and unknown to many of you. These words mark the beginning of Lincoln's political career, dedicating his life to serving his countrymen and strengthening this nation in perhaps the most challenging period in the United States history. Like Lincoln, we now find ourselves in a similar situation. As we get closer to graduating with our bachelor's degree, close this chapter of our lives, and set our eyes on new horizons, we must ask ourselves what it is that truly matters to us, so that we can build our lives around those values and principles that make us who we are and give meaning to our lives. It is now up to us to make the right decisions and decide which path to follow. I hope that your time here at AU was instrumental in developing or shaping your values and principles, and that you may succeed in building your life around those things with honor, integrity, and courage. As Lincoln once said, "I'm not bound to win, but I'm bound to be true. I'm not bound to succeed, but I'm bound to live up to what light I have." Thank you, everyone, and congratulations to all graduating seniors.
Hello, everyone. This is truly terrifying. Okay. So here we are. You're about ready to start a new phase of your lives. Go out, see the world. It's supposedly spring. Change is in the air. So I thought it would be an appropriate topic for me to talk to you today about change and how I see it. There's 20 various noun and verb definitions of the word change in the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary. The three most relevant for this conversation in my eyes are, number one, to undergo a modification or transformation, to pass from one phase to another, number three, to become radically different. There are others about putting on fresh clothes, menopause, diapers. I didn't know how many people that would apply to, so those are not in my top three. A Google search tells me that there's about 25 synonyms for the word change, excluding those that involve clothes or menopause or money. There's a lot of rewords on that list: revise, redo, remake, revamp. There's a lot of trans words too: transition, transmute, transform. Some of my favorites on the list are evolution, mutation, metamorphosis. Why are we laughing? They are my favorite. In science, we even have a symbol that means change. It's a Greek letter delta, or a triangle. So change is a part of my life. So I wear a lot of professional hats that all revolve around this concept of change. As a biologist, evolution is the underlying theme of my discipline. Many of the courses I teach discuss evolutionary change and adaptation, often as the result of some disturbance, with mutation as the ultimate source of that variation that selection can act upon, blah, 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 right? Notice in that sentence alone, I use 6 words that mean change. So evolution, change, adaptation, disturbance, variation, all of those revolve around change. As a professor, my primary responsibility is to ensure that my students learn. And as an animal behaviorist, I define that learning as an alteration of behavior as a result of experience. I even work at an institution where the mission is that we are dedicated to the transformative power of learning, right? So you can see I know a thing or two about change. So clearly change is pervasive in my professional life, but like many of you, I'm sure, my personal history is also riddled with it. I can sum up the main shifts: the transition from little kid to somewhat reckless teenager, to passionate college student to socially conscious adult, from single person to engaged person, back to single person, back to engaged person, and then married person. Yep, it was a circuitous path to get to where we're at now. From apartment dweller to homeowner. And I can look at myself now and say, here I am. It was a circuitous path, but here I am. I started college as a pre-med biochem major. Imagine my parents' surprise when this shifted to me wanting to study gorillas in Africa like Diane Fossey. She died doing that. There's a movie about it. My parents saw it too and freaked out, of course. And then it shifted again to studying the ecology of fish. By the time I was in grad school, my focus was on the behavior of freshwater crayfish. And at that point, I think my parents, nothing surprised them at that point. So it was all good. They were very supportive. So I have a lot of firsthand knowledge about change, but there's been a lot of points in my life when I've stopped and asked myself the same question. And that's that change is good for me, right? We all ask ourselves that question, I think. As a mentor or a parent or a colleague or just a friend, I don't know how many times I've told someone that change is good for them or that it builds character. Some of my students have probably heard me say that. Or to be the change that they want to see or not to fear change. But when I look at a lot of the definitions or synonyms for change, they simply aren't that pleasant, right? So just take the word transformation, for example. Has anybody ever seen a movie where somebody turns into a werewolf, right? Or you read about Bella turning into a vampire and how painful that was, that process, right? Or saw what Harry and Ron and Hermione had to go through when they became Crabbe and Goyle and that cat after they took Polyjuice Potion, right? Yeah, we all remember that. Those don't seem like good options for me. I don't like those options. Regarding just the re-words that we were talking about before, and students, this is mostly at you. Who down here relishes revising a paper? That's fun, right? Or revamping the way that you study, or redoing an assignment. We don't usually like that. Who in the audience in general hears the word mutate and says, yeah, that's something I really would love to go through? Probably not many of us. My point is that change itself, the process of passing from one state of being to another, is painful, almost always. The result of it may be deemed good or bad, depending on how the new and previous states compare, but that transition state is never fun. So you remember what it was like when you first went to college. It's obviously a good thing, right? At least eventually. But at the beginning, although it was fun and exciting, you probably also felt some degree of anxiety, maybe even terror, right? Because you realized that nothing would ever be the same again. You had to learn to be a college student, learn to keep up with your studies, to talk to those scary professors that you're going to have in front of you, maybe even to do your own laundry. Might have had to learn that too. Parents, you also realized nothing else would be the same again, probably more so than your student. Your babies were adulting now, and you couldn't protect them from that big bad world the way that you always had. And I'm sure that that was terrifying too. But graduates, here you are now, right? So you're through that transition, and now you're about ready to start another transition, embark on another one, and after it, you'll be in a different state. Hopefully this one will carry a larger paycheck than the one that you have now. Now, since I won the Trumbo Award, and also realized I was going to be given this speech, I've reflected on the various chapters of my life, and my either resistance to or embrace of the transition states that were in between. Until I did that, I didn't fully realize how much my experiences had actually shaped my character. Each challenge, each shift, incrementally built this person that I am today. There was a time in the not-so-distant past that I didn't even know if I would be here now, depending on the outcome of factors that were out of my control. Exactly 1 year, 2 weeks, and 1 day ago, I was diagnosed with stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma, aka breast cancer. I still can't really remember exactly how that conversation went with my doctor. I remember the conversation with my husband afterwards, and the realization that everything was about to become radically different. And exactly, this is interesting part, to the day 1 year ago, on April 12th, I had my first chemo appointment to start dealing with that. Actually, at this time, it was in the afternoon too. I remember how scared I was on that first day. So already my daily routine had totally changed. We were about ready to pump my body with chemicals that would fight the cancer, but that would do who knows what to the rest of me. Realizing I was going to lose all my hair, that was really stressful. And then I felt really shallow about that, and that stressed me out even more. So the people that I interacted with on a daily basis shifted from students and colleagues to doctors, nurses, and technicians all the time. And although they were kind and compassionate and everything you would want them to be, you better believe that not one of them told me that these changes were good for me or that they would make me stronger. Instead, they focused on giving me a heads up about what could be coming my way and told me that I had to be strong and gave me the treatments that I needed to get through it. And I did, and here I am, 1 year later, completely cancer-free. So to be blunt, the whole process just plain sucked. Like all other transformations. But like all of those other changes, it was also temporary. It was a transitional state. Difficult to go through, but now I realize how resilient I am. And I have a different view about what's important and what's not so important, that I don't need to stress about every little thing, and that it's the people that count and the relationships that count. Not that those weren't important before cancer, but after cancer, they're kind of the only things that matter. So enough about that situation. Let's return to the crux of our conversation here today. So why, when we know it's going to be uncomfortable, do we tell our students, our mentees, our kids to seek out change, that it builds character, that a change will do you good, to quote Sheryl Crow? I can't take that one. Or any other permutation of the same message. It's probably because we're trying to make them feel better, boost their spirits, give them the kick in the butt that they need, cheerlead them, whatever. We all do that as faculty. But that's probably because we actually know what's coming. The anxiety, the trepidation, in some cases the pain that's going to come with those changes. And as mentors or friends, we want to shield you from all that or make you at least believe it's not going to be as bad as it might possibly be. But maybe we should be a bit more honest instead and tell you to prepare yourself for the inevitable discomfort. Prepare yourself for the loss you're going to feel as you shift from one part of your life to the next, even if it ends up being a good change. Prepare yourself for those times when you really want to just click your heels together and say there's no place like home and just make it go back to the way it was before. But at the same time, we're being perfectly honest. Getting through that process, not the going through, but the getting through, actually crossing that chasm from where you were before to where you are now, that is good for you, and it does build character. To quote Nietzsche, or Kelly Clarkson, you can take your pick, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. Kelly says it a little bit different. That's the Nietzsche quote. It gives us a chance to stop, appreciate where we are and what we have, and realize, wow, I really just did that. So what's my advice to all of you as you graduate and move on to the next phase of your lives? Know this, change is inevitable, and there's often discomfort involved, and you usually can't control it, which is why it's so painful. Realize that you can't predict how you'll be altered along the way, but know that you will. The real measure of you will be how you deal with those transitions. That is under your control. How do I do that, you may ask? Here comes the professor in me. I can only tell you what I did. Maybe develop a mantra. I can do anything for 4 months. I can do anything for 2 weeks. I can do anything for 2 days. That was mine, and it really helped me get through. Listen to music that inspires you. I rediscovered the wisdom of the 20th century philosophers in the group Chumbawamba. Do some of you know what's coming? I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. Take solace in friends. Sit on the back porch with them and eat Thai food, drink lemonade, and just enjoy life. But my primary piece of advice is to try to find the upside. There's always at least one, even with cancer. I didn't have to shave my legs for 6 months. That was pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie about that one. Now, as a close second, I also got to spend a lot more time with my family. It wasn't really a close second. I became closer to my husband on a much deeper level. I met a lot of really great people that'll be my friends for life. So as you face your own crazy, painful, anxiety-causing whirlwind of transitions in your lives, I hope you can find the strength to allow those changes to happen, embrace them even, but also pause every once in a while, look around, and realize that I may have changed, I may even be radically different, but I'm still here. Thank you.
I want to say a small word because we're singing Auld Lang Syne today, which in America is usually reserved for New Year's Eve. In Scotland, however, it's sung all the time when you want to remember friends and the good times that you had together. That's what this song is about. Let's remember the Auld Lang Syne, the old times.
Oh
I am honored to present the Undergraduate Awards this afternoon. These students were selected by the faculty of the university after careful screening and thoughtful deliberation. You can read the descriptions of each award in your programs. The recipient of the Ethel Tapper Humanities Award is Alyssa Gibbous. Congratulations, Alyssa. Congratulations. The Stanley H. Perry Performing Arts Award is presented to Elizabeth Scheidler. Congratulations, Elizabeth. The Eleanor and Samuel McFarland Biology Award is awarded to Kelsey King. Congratulations, Kelsey. The Kenneth Olenek Social Science Award recipient is Candelaria Barrientos. Congratulations. The Golden Apple Award is presented this year to Alyssa Ahlstrom. The Society of Health and Physical Educators Major of the Year Award goes to Jorge Ochoa. The Jennifer Warzala Award for Academic Excellence in Business and Leadership is awarded to Christine Williams. The Sharon Beverly Award winner this year is Lauren Gibson. Jessica Barnett is the recipient of the Gertrude Banaszek Award. Jessica is out of state and unable to attend today. The John Alexander Leadership Award is given to Anne Reeves. The George Williams Legacy Social Work Award is given to Rianne Locke. The George Williams College Outstanding Social Work student is Lorena Villagomez. Lorena, stay there. This year's recipient of the George Williams College Faculty Award is Lorena Villagomez as well. Congratulations again. The Helen Finch Award goes to Mitchell Lave. Congratulations once again to all of these amazing students.
I am pleased to present the Jim Scott Award to the 2018 women's volleyball team. Sorry. Please welcome to the stage the following representatives from the team: Nikki Lofschult, Katie Vondra, and Emily Lines. The 2018 Aurora University women's volleyball team had an unbelievable year. This team won the first NCAA postseason game for women's volleyball in AU's history. They finished 26-9 and won the NCAA Midwest Regional, which propelled them to the Elite Eight in Pittsburgh, where they competed for a national championship. Not only did the women on the team reach incredible athletic heights, they also impressed in the classroom. They were recognized as an AVCA all-academic team, and a member of the team won the Elite 90 Award, given to the student athlete with the best cumulative GPA competing in the national championship tournament. Congratulations to women's volleyball on their back-to-back Jim Scott Awards. You certainly make AU proud. I am also pleased to present the Jim Scott Award to the 2018 men's baseball team. Please welcome to the podium Jeff Mays, Cole Davis, Chris Roycroft, and Nick Matthey. The Aurora University men's baseball team had an outstanding 2018 season, winning 30 regular season games, the NAC Conference Tournament, and representing AU in the NCAA Regional. Off the field, the team notched an impressive 3.3 GPA and volunteered in the community reading to children at Two Rivers Head Start program, participating in Walk a Mile to help end domestic abuse, and distributing food at the Aurora Interfaith Food Pantry. Congratulations to the baseball team. Your commitment to AU and the athletics program is remarkable. The John McKee Citizenship Award recipient for an AU student is John Berkey. Congratulations, John. This year's employee recipient of the John McKee Citizenship Award is Tracy Leaf. Congratulations, Tracy. The Gold Ivy Leaf Award dates back to 1932 on the Aurora College campus, when Professor John Beach, a Greek scholar, suggested that the Ivy Leaf is symbolic of true scholarship that must be continuously renewed. Originally, students were given real ivy leaves, plucked from the vines entwining Eckerd Hall. The ivy is now long gone, so today we present our Ivy Leaf recipients with a gold medallion to recognize their scholastic achievement. Please come forward as I read your name to receive your medallion. Summa cum laude, Lauren Anderson, Jonathan Berkey, Hector Cardenas Cepeda, Brendan Casson, Evelina Challen, Grace DeVries, Mallory Dugan, Alyssa Eads, Danielle Espada Johnson, Taylor Fensky, Colin Foreman, Alyssa Gibbous, Lauren Hathaway, Santiago Hernandez, Caitlin Herndon, Jordan Holloway, Stephanie Karlowitz, Corinne McEachern, Marissa Navarrete, Melanie Ochoa, Junior Pena, Hernan Ramirez, Ann Reeves, Cole Rundle, Elizabeth Scheidler, Marissa Schmid, Daniel Schmidt, Margaret Soa, Nina Thole, Lorena Villagomez Corona, Anderson Winston, magna cum laude, Alyssa Alstrom, Eduardo Aldana, Gabriela Alvarado, Maria Amari, Mariah Alsbury, Nalida Bahina, Candelaria Barrientos Jimenez, Kendall Costello, Mark Kramer, Connor Fissel, Rose Fitzgerald, Jamie Gentile, Sandra Gonzalez, Miriam Guzman, Catherine Higgins, Paul Hinterlong, Trevor Hoth, Albana Hoti, Andres Jaquez, Jillian Jungles, Lauren Kapsick, Kelsey King, Marisa Copping, Abigail Lake, Stephanie Mata, Patrick Maughan, Alyssa May, Brittany McComb, Ian Merlack, Rachel Metcalf, Jocelyn Molina, Lauren O'Daniel, Autumn Oley, Anthony Partida, Jeremy Perales, Melissa Plazola, Sylvia Prorock, Austin Slezak, Victoria Solis, Courtney Spear, Christopher Stankus, Ian Sweeney, Jordan Sweeney, Sarah Thies, Adrian Vargas, Marisol Velasquez, Maria Villalpando, Elaine Walker, Bryce Walgard, and Christine Williams.
Good afternoon. 2019 marks the inaugural Maggie Scherer Staff Recognition Award. And I am pleased that Maggie is here with us today. As Becky's and the trustee's executive assistant, Maggie was my go-to person for all things board related. With her, I felt prepared for any challenge, from finalizing the board agenda to helping me fasten my commencement regalia, to finding a mortar board that fit on my pin head. She was always there with those things that even I didn't know I needed, until I sat down to run a board meeting and searched for her in panic mode. She was thoughtful, caring, professional, and committed to the mission of Aurora University. And I am delighted to call her my friend. Maggie, can I impose upon you and have you join Becky and I on stage to present this award to our first worthy recipient? Here, Maggie, come here. Okay. The Maggie Scherer Staff Recognition Award serves to honor the finest work of the AU staff in their various roles supporting the mission and work of the campus community. This year's winner truly embodies the award and enriches the fabric of the university. She lends a helping hand to colleagues and helps new staff to acclimate to AU by telling the amazing history and story of the university. She is known for her gentle and welcoming smile and unwavering commitment to student success, always leading with compassion and integrity, making sure every student feels supported by the university. Through more than 2 decades, this person has served the university in various roles, from alumni relations to student life to the Wackerland Center. She is committed to serving the students with excellence and humility. The university would not be the same without her. She was instrumental in starting Libby's Place, our on-campus food pantry, and she is committed to creating innovative solutions to ensure that no student on campus is ever food insecure. As the advisor of Circle K, the creator of Morning of Service, and original staff member at the Wackerland Center for Faith and Action, the inaugural Maggie Scherer Staff Recognition Award goes to Barb Calvert.
Every year, a member of the graduating class is chosen to receive Aurora University's most prestigious honor, the Spartan Award. This year's Spartan Award recipient has a perfect 4.0 GPA and a double major in communication and graphic design. Outside the classroom, this student has served as the co-president of the AU American Marketing Association and has led the Spartans to an impressive first-place entry in an exhibit competition at AMA's International Collegiate Conference. She is a member of the Pi Eta Sigma Honor Society and is involved in Lambda Pi Eta, the University Communication Honor Society, which has made significant contributions in assisting the homeless. This student has been a sports producer for the AU Spartan Media student organization and has been a featured Spartan on AU's social media accounts. She played all 4 years on the women's soccer team and has elevated the team's dynamic through her positive attitude and willingness to mentor other players. She has studied abroad in France and has become an ambassador for the university's Study Abroad program. I am pleased to announce this year's Spartan Award recipient, Evelina Challen. Evelina is in New Orleans, Louisiana today with the American Marketing Association, so a special guest will be accepting the award for her, her father, Paul Challen. Each fall, an outstanding senior from each of the 4-year degree-granting institutions of higher learning in Illinois is awarded the Abraham Lincoln Civic Engagement Award and thereby becomes a student laureate of the Lincoln Academy of Illinois. This year, you have heard from our student laureate, Hernan Ramirez, and I will tell you a little bit about him. During his 4 years at AU, Hernan has demonstrated a depth and breadth of character uncommon in traditional age college students, along with an ambitious intellectual curiosity. His leadership and service in support of the greater good are grounded in his strong sense of self, which allows him to bring out the best in others. Hernan is unique in that he maintains a high standard of excellence in academic and extracurricular activities, while applying a sense of humility that positions him as a servant leader committed to the success of the collective while honoring individual contributions and gifts. Please join me in congratulating Hernan Ramirez as our Lincoln Laureate. I also invite all of you to celebrate our students' accomplishments at a reception in the creamy atrium after the conclusion of our ceremony. Please stand as we sing our alma mater and remain standing for the benediction.
Please pray with me. God of mercy and grace, we thank you for these students who have accomplished so much and ask that you would continue to bless them in their future endeavors. We thank you for professors who have inspired and challenged them, peers who have walked beside them, and parents and families who have encouraged and inspired them. We are grateful for the service of our colleagues who have been recognized here today and humbly ask that you would continue to bless them as they serve others. As we celebrate our 125th birthday, we thank you for your faithfulness to Aurora College and Aurora University. From humble beginnings in Mendota to this city and beyond, you have provided for us at every step. We thank you for the faithful women and men of the past who were inspired to create this institution, that it would become a place of true learning and home to the arts. We thank you for the dedicated women and men of today who follow in their footsteps. Please bless our graduates as they complete their studies. Bless us all as we celebrate this occasion, and may God bless the next 125 years of Aurora University. And all the Spartans said, Amen.